I felt like he pimped my heart because he knew how much I cared for him. Because just like any other woman, you always want to let them know, I care for you. I love you. I'll be here for you. I'll do anything for you. And he kept hearing it to the point where he was like, oh, she ain't going nowhere. She ain't leaving. She gonna stay regardless of what I do to her. So let me take over here to this church, make her sing here. Take over here to do this, let her do that for me because she loved me and she gonna do it. So that's how I felt like I was being pimped. But at the same time, I allowed him to pimp.
Hey there, I'm Ari, your petite but powerful Kingdom Teaching professor and entrepreneur. I bring the sass, the laughs, and the serious, let's get real and heal moments without any filters. Now meet my mom, Pastor D, the #1 dunamis woman leading our Healing for My Soul movement. As a Kingdom Teaching pastor and life coach, she is unapologetically real, raw, and radical, but she's our rock and the voice of wisdom that we all need. And then there's Allison, fierce yet tender, and the voice for many single mothers. She's the silent heartbeat of our family and will be the first to tell you, yeah, life with these two can be crazy, but I got their back and we're in this together. As a dynamic trio, we spearhead the Healing for My Soul movement, sharing the miraculous healing power of God through our journey, truths, and a little humor as we guide women to pursue healing as a lifestyle so they may experience freedom within their life and legacy.
Well, welcome to another episode, as a matter of fact, another season and episode of the Healing for My Soul podcast, you all. Oh my God, it's getting deeper and deeper, gooder and gooder, and better, because we're here to talk about this whole season about the Black church. And I stated it in the first episode, giving you some understanding, prayerfully, some wisdom about what it is to really be the church. And not only the church, but the Black church. But in some of that, I've had some wonderful things happen. Unfortunately, we get hurt in the church, in the Black church. But in this case, it is fortunate that this powerful woman has been hurt in the church because it led her to me as her spiritual mother because she was in need from healing. She needed healing in the depths of her soul. So she came all the way from Louisiana and came to right where I am in Georgia for her to sit not only with me today, but to be with me every day. So I call her Pache, but her name is literally Chantella Freeman. How are you, beautiful?
I am wonderful. How are you?
I'm wonderful. Don't go in there, start acting dignified.
I'm trying to do what I can do.
No, it's so wonderful to have you. I love your spirit because you keep me laughing. You keep me young. I love the young folks. Right. Y'all keep me young. But I want you to, for this particular podcast, healing the hurt that we experience in the Black church. You came here because of your pain.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Explain to the audience, as well as refresh my memory as far as the pain that you were in, emotional pain, spiritual pain that led you to dunamis woman, period.
So when I first came to dunamis woman, I was emotionally dead. I was emotionally numb. I just didn't care anymore. And from church, it was just didn't feel the same anymore. Because when you in church and you serve in church for so long and then people treat you like you're scum under their feet and they just use you to abuse you. So, yeah, it was just a lot of pain and it was time to shake it off.
Time to shake it off.
Time to shake it off.
Time to shake it. What was the sound? What did you hear when you heard the sound of healing? What did that sound like for you that made you say, I need this?
So it was actually church hurt on top of being hurt by a man.
Same difference.
Because he was definitely in the church. So it was just, I knew I had to get away because if I wouldn't have, it wouldn't have been good.
It wouldn't have been good.
I'll just say that. It wouldn't have been good.
It wouldn't have been good. Let me explain to you all a little bit on that note because dunamis is a Greek term for a miracle itself, and there is no healing that is that you can't have without dunamis being ignited.
Right.
But dunamis is a violence. It's a strength and it's a force, and it could be used for good rather or evil. Does that make sense? So healing is so necessary because dunamis is going to be ignited regardless.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Dunamis can be ignited inside of you to bring you to your place of destiny, or it can bring you to your place of demise. So you chose to channel that violence. Does that make sense? In a way that is going to bring you to your destiny as opposed to letting it manifest. And a lot of us, when we have been hurt from the church, because the reason why that is because we expect so much from the people in the church.
Yes. You almost make them your God.
You right, because they are supposed to represent God. But as I even stated, the church building is pertaining to God.
Yes.
We are the church. So when I go into that building, it's pertaining to him. Then you might not necessarily find him in there.
Right.
Because if the pain is in there and the hurt is in there, what goes on in our natural house, we bring to the spiritual house.
Yeah.
And so even as a black people, we have been taught to subdue. We have been taught to suppress.
Oh,
We
yeah.
have been taught to harbor these things in our soul, particularly what's going on in our house.
Oh, yeah.
And now the evil we find more in the church than we do anywhere else.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because we're hiding even the more and making it look like it's God when it's really some pain. And that's why healing of the soul is very, very necessary, because we can exude his miraculous power.
Oh, yeah.
And not just in the church, but first in our home. You know what I'm saying? So let's go there. What happened? Bottom line, one of the things that happened. What happened? I ain't here to sugarcoat it. I ain't here to tiptoe around. What happened? Doggone, everybody want to know. Put in the comment, what happened?
So what happened
church
was,
folks nosy. What happened?
Look, good and
We
nosy.
nosy.
We
We
good
want
and
to know the
nosy.
gossip. What happened?
That's right. So for one, when I was in church, I seen so much different stuff to where I was under so many different pastors and prophets and all different religions. And I also saw them pimp the church.
Okay.
And then for my own personal, I was in a relationship with somebody who pimped me and literally took every inch of me and used it for their own selfish gain and then threw me to the side like I was nothing.
Okay.
Hey, listeners, did you know that you can actually watch this Healing for My Soul podcast on your big screen TV? Yes, your TV. All you have to do is go to Dunamis Woman TV Network, add it to your Roku TV, Amazon TV. You could even download the app and watch the episodes. And while you're there, become a Dunamis Woman Insider. You get inside scoop behind the episodes. You also get access to all of our Healing for My Soul challenges once you become an insider. So go to dunamiswomantv.com or just download the app Dunamis Woman TV Network to your phone and to your TV, and you'll see how you can get the TV network and watch it on the big screen.
So let's go deeper. I'm gonna be a little therapeutic here.
Come on,
Okay,
now.
I'm gonna be a
I'm
little therapeutic.
with
I'm gonna give you a little
Come on, give me
healing
some.
coaching session.
I'm with it.
And I'm gonna preach.
Look, don't start that because I'm ready for that one.
You saw someone and you said they pimped you, but there was something in them that were deemed to be trustworthy.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't say it was trustworthy. It was deemed to be trustworthy. Whether it was a position, whether it was a talk, whether it was a speech. Give me more insight on that, because you're not the type of person that just trust anything and anybody. You know what I'm
Not at
saying?
all.
Because they're seducing spirits, and I ain't going to get into all that.
Okay.
But it causes our minds to be sucked in, that's saying, I can trust that.
Yeah.
But behind all that is deception. So I want you to just really define, go a little bit deeper. What was that thing? Because can't nobody pimp you unless you allow them.
That's right. And I did allow it.
Okay, come on. So what was that thing? Was he fine? Was he talking good?
Well, you know
was
what? He wasn't even that fine.
Okay.
He wasn't even that fine. But we did have in common that we love to sing.
Oh, come on now.
Singing
That's it.
is my everything.
Yeah, it is.
I'm
That
a
is.
worshiper to my heart, to my core. And we both love to sing, and it just like we just hit it off. All of a sudden just hit it off. And then when I was at a very emotional place with my family, because we had got into it, and then I came and I asked him, I said, well, can I move in with you? And he said, sure, sure you can. And
Cha-ching.
that's when it started. And then I felt like I was being pretty much pimped for my voice, for the things that I could do for my heart, because my heart is so pure to people and I love to give. I love to serve. So I feel like my heart was being taken advantage of.
And so I want to shift our paradigm right here on that one, because we all are weak for whom we love.
Yes.
And I'm weak for Christ because I love him.
Because I love him, yeah.
He ain't going to never pimp me, though. He going to prosper me.
That
you know what I'm
part.
saying? But yet I'm still weak. You know, it's like being in love. You know what I'm saying? So now you love singing. You was weak for the singing.
Oh,
you
yeah.
was weak for that. You wasn't weak for the man.
No.
I want to get that right, because some people just think you weak for a man. No, you weak for your gift.
Yeah.
Because you found, even the word of God said your gift will make room for you. So even where your gift was in that church, it made room for you, but the enemy found you where your gift was.
Yeah.
He found your heart where your gift was. Does that make sense? Then you had these troubles going on at home, and now you the one asked, can you move in? Because you asked because you move in, because you really don't see yourself.
Yeah.
Just because you got a gift don't mean you see yourself. Just because you got a gift don't mean you understand the strength and the power. So I'm saying, so not only he didn't pimp you, you really didn't know how to stand in your purpose.
Yeah. Yeah.
Does that make sense? So a lot of times we're talking about people, or we're believing that it's their fault, but it's not. And it's not your fault either. We just don't know.
We don't know. And that's true. I did not know at that time.
We just don't know.
Did not know at all.
And I firmly believe you was trying to still find a protector and a provider.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Someone who was not there for you in the beginning, and that was your father.
Oh, of course.
Men take the place of our fathers from a spiritual standpoint, particularly when it's in the church, because it looked like God brought them in our lives. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because every man represents, whether you do it or not now, they represent protector, provider. That's their strength. Does that make sense? And now, whether you the preacher, whether you the worship leader, whether you the deacon, whether you this, you still a man.
Right.
And so I still feel like I have a sense of protection. Talk about that a little bit more, because I'm going to go deeper.
Oh, Lord.
I know. Let's go deeper.
So I did feel like he was my protector. I felt like whatever I went through, that he was going to be that person that will hold me and help me through each part of my life. I felt like that was the person that was going to go to the next level with me, and that I was going to find my purpose.
Yeah, you're going to find your purpose.
I was going to find my purpose, but I feel like God definitely took him to set me up for greater.
For your purpose. Yeah.
He definitely took him and set me up for
God
my
for
greatness. I do.
I thank God for
I've
him.
told him that. We have
God
had
for
a conversation since I've grown in my healing and in my life. And I told him, I said, I thank you. Because if it had not been for you, I'd have never been where I am now.
And if it had not been for him, I wouldn't know you today. So tell him I said thank you. Tell him to tune into the podcast. Thank you. Let me say thank you. I just want to say thank you.
That part. I love it.
You really can't blame it on the church, because at the end of the day, you are the church. And you're never going to blame. See, I'm not here to put the church down. I'm here to lift us up, to really help us understand who we really are.
Right.
Because can't nobody, and that's the whole point, do anything when you really know who you are.
That's right.
Lead me according to who I am, and not what you want me to do. And when we go into the buildings, we're so much doing duties. Do this, do this, do this. And you're not tending to my heart based upon who I am. And to tend to my heart based upon who I am, that means you got to get to know something about me. You got to have some time with me. You got to hear my heart to know my heart. Does that make sense?
Right.
Now, I'm just going to take a stab at it. This was an older man.
Nope. He was younger. He was younger than me.
He was younger.
Can you believe it? He was younger than me. He was younger than me.
So how in your mind, why do you say he pimped you? We want to know. We nosy. Church folks nosy. Y'all still want to hear. How? So describe it in your mind.
So to me, I felt like he pimped my heart, because he knew how much I cared for him. Because just like any other woman, you always want to let them know, I care for you. I love you. I'll be here for you. I'll do anything for you. And he kept hearing it to the point where he was like, oh, she ain't going nowhere. She ain't leaving. She gonna stay regardless of what I do to her. So let me take over here to this church, make her sing here. Take over here to do this, let her do that for me, because she loved me, and she gonna do it. So that's how I felt like I was being pimped. But at the same time, I allowed him to pimp.
Well, the thing is that when we're longing for Father, we're searching for love.
Oh, yeah. Ooh,
and when you're searching for love, no, I want all y'all to hear this seriously, because we're really talking about, and I told y'all, I've been a part of the church all my life. So I'm not going to let this be watered down and sugar coated. You know what I'm saying? You 30 something, I ain't going to tell my age.
I ain't
gonna do it. I ain't gonna do it.
Tell
just guessing. Just guessing. You understand what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, we put so much of our love, particularly when they're in those arenas, particularly when they're in the doors, because they're supposed to love us. So we feel that we're supposed to love them.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And so we're not going to continue to say, oh, I just love you. I just love you, when you're really longing. You're longing for the Father. And with the Father comes love.
Yeah.
See, I don't have to look for my Father to love me. It comes with the love.
Oh, yeah.
But we fail to realize that that's a man. Now, this was a younger man. Does that make sense? And I promise you, he got issues, or he had issues in the church, not only from a father, but from a mother perspective. Because when you got mama issues, you don't really know how to love a woman.
And he was a PK.
Right. So he don't know how. And so all of that stuff, all he know is self-absorption. Everything is about me. Everything is about me. So even being younger than you kept on telling him you love him, and that would give them a sense of mindset that she would do anything. And to a certain degree you did. And it's just so happened that you all went to the same church. And that's how you experienced the church hurt.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
And it ain't the church fault.
Oh, no.
It ain't your fault. It's we just don't know who we are.
Now that's fact.
Does that make sense? And if your home life wasn't jacked up, you wouldn't have been with him in the first place.
That's true.
And if he's younger than you, does that make sense?
That's true.
He wouldn't have let you come and live with him.
Right.
Yep.
That's right. That's true.
I said let. Does that make sense? Let.
Right.
Because he didn't know how to protect you. He didn't know how to provide for you. He didn't know how to step into the arena of not just being man, but being that husband, that protector, that shield, that guard, that champion that you wanted. You was just looking for somewhere to be rescued.
Yep.
And he didn't know how to do it. Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah.
How did you work through the process? Hey, I got a question for you. Have you ever been a part of one of our Healing for My Soul challenges? Well, we have so many women who've been there 1 time, 2 times, 14 times, all kinds of times, but it's nothing like being there with you. So if you have never experienced one of our Healing for My Soul challenges that we have 3 days, 5 days, deep topics that go deep within our soul so we can deal with the unresolved conflicts, go to the website right now and you're going to be a part of this Healing for My Soul movement by joining us on one of our challenges, www.healingformysoulpodcast.com. I can't wait to see you there. All right? Now let's get back to this episode.
So I came into Dunamis Woman. I came in on a challenge, and then
what was the name of the challenge?
Breaking Soul Ties.
Breaking Soul Ties.
Oh, yeah. And I was like, it's time to break. But once I came in, I didn't stop. I went full force. At that time, y'all were giving out coaching calls if you went VIP. So I went VIP, and I got a coaching call from you, and you said, why you ain't in the master class? And I said, I don't know. She said, call and get in the master class. And I said, okay. And my healing just been coming a little more every day. Still to this day.
It's a lifestyle. It's a lifestyle. Healing is a lifestyle. You have found yourself.
Oh, yeah.
The gift still is. It's still flourishing. Does that make sense? I don't have to have you sing on this podcast. No, girl. La, 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 la. Because you truly are a worshiper.
Oh, yeah.
Okay? And there's a lot of worship that goes on. But in the worship, we think it's worship, but it's a lot of singing. You understand what I'm saying? And you love to sing, but your heart is for worship. And just because somebody sing don't mean they worship.
Right. It's a difference.
It's a difference. And so as a worshiper, not just singer, but worshiper, you're really fulfilling the occupancy of where the seat of Satan was. He was a worshiper. And so I want all of you all to know, I don't know what your position is, where your heart is or what is, but he's coming after your heart even the more. So you really, really have to be aware, not of a man, but be aware of yourself.
Oh, yeah.
Be aware of yourself. I believe the only reason why we all get hurt is because you don't know yourself.
That's true.
You don't know yourself. My definition of hurt, and I've been hurt. Black man, married a black man who hurt me. He was a musician in the church. Does that make sense? Music, them music folks, Lord Jesus. Y'all singers, y'all musicians. Y'all, we love some sex. That's why you moved it. It was good, wasn't it? Come on. Healing from a Soul podcast. It was good, wasn't it?
We never had sex.
You never have? We got to talk afterwards. You was even more gone than I thought. Thank God
I was gone.
You was gone.
Yeah, I was out of there.
You was gone.
I was out of there.
Ooh,
Timber.
Jesus. Ooh, Jesus.
It was timber.
And you was giving everything.
I was giving everything.
Oh, you were gone.
Yeah.
That was
I
a
was
spirit
out of there.
That was a spirit of seduction for real. You wasn't wrestling with flesh and blood. You truly wasn't doing that. Now
that I wouldn't.
Oh, Lord. But, you know, maybe forget what I was talking about. That messed up my whole mind.
I'm just saying, you said we being truthful now. I got to be truthful with her.
I should have interviewed you after the interview.
Well, I got more to say.
But at the end of the day, me being involved as well, I understand as a worshiper and a musician, regardless of it, it's still seduction.
Oh, yeah.
It can seduce your mind.
Oh, yeah.
And it don't necessarily take a penis to seduce your mind. It just complements the seduction. At least it justifies it.
I was crazy for no reason.
You was crazy for no reason. But that's what hurt would do for you.
Oh, yeah.
Does that make sense? But really, my definition of hurt is that I'm expecting something from you that you don't have the capacity to give me.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
You was expecting something from the body of Christ as well as him that they didn't have the capacity to give you.
Oh, yeah.
Now, realistically, if I was the leader and the pastor of that church and you all were singing, you wouldn't have never moved in with them. Because that's how you got to get to know your sheep. Does that make sense? Instead of coming to the man, you should have came to the leader. Why you didn't?
Because you can't go to leaders.
or pastors.
No,
why you didn't go to the
can't.
pastor?
Because most pastors you can't even talk to.
I don't understand that. Elaborate on because that's really where the hurt is.
Oh, yeah.
That's really where the hurt is.
Because when it comes to religion and the pastors in religion, you really don't have any means to talk to them. Like, you can't go up to them and just have a conversation or call them and say, hey, I'm having a problem. I need just your prayer or just anything. Like, you don't have any contact with them 90% of the time.
Was this a large church? A mega?
No.
Oh, okay.
And you from the country.
Ain't no megas in
ain't no megas where I'm from.
But to me, you know, I mean, and you're supposed to go to any of them. Even if I know I may have 20,000, but at the end of the day, I still supposed to set other leaders in place.
Yeah.
So even now, even with Dunamis Woman, I have them all across the globe. You know what I'm saying? I have people that are in place, but there's no way that they're going to deal with the hearts and don't bring it to me.
Right.
You know how I do.
Oh,
you understand what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Because I don't care how many people in position, God has given me the mandate to oversee the sheep, to oversee the hearts of his people. Does that make sense? So ain't nobody going to get behind. And when they don't tell me what's going on, I ain't going to the sheep. I'm going to that person who I put in place. You see what I'm saying? So now as it comes to a small edifice, I can't really understand why there can't be, because I just would love to have 50 people. I would just love to have just those 50 to cultivate. I did have it. You know what I'm saying? So I don't understand. That's what I'm saying. I don't understand. And I'm talking from a pastoral stand. I don't understand.
But a lot of them sit like they are God. And they feel like people just can't come to them. Like, talk to the deacon, talk to the mothers, but don't come to me. And that's just how Most of them are.
Hey, we know that you are doing some amazing processes of healing, but we want to invite you to draw closer into our Dunamis Woman University. That is the place to be, to really dig deeper and to discover who you are as the woman and go through a journey of your healing. Ma, would you have something to speak about, DW?
You know what? The healing power of God is all at work in Dunamis Woman University. That's where you do the work. That's why we call it a university, because we can talk all day long. We can tell about this, tell about that. But now it's time for you to do the work. Dunamis Woman University is there to take you to another level, but most of all, for God to go deeper within your heart, your mind, and your soul.
Yes, so the doors are open. Just go to www.dunamiswomanuniversity.com and enroll today and start the transformation that you need.
The most beautiful part about being a pastor is that I can have a relationship with you all. Chantella Freeman. The beautiful part is that every time I see you, I get to know more about you. Laugh with you, hear your heart. I could tell you some things about yourself that you're dealing with and you don't even know you're dealing with them. Does that make sense?
I can believe it.
You know what I mean? That's the beautiful part. So I'm grateful that you are here because it's time for healing. Does that make sense? And I'm saying that because I want everybody who is watching right now, I don't know where you are. I don't know where you go. But at the end of the day, there's nobody who should be able to feed you that you can't speak to on some level. Does that make sense? It's about you drawing closer, not about them coming out. I love when you all draw closer. It ain't about me coming out to you. It's when you draw closer. Does that make sense? Because you have a need. You have something that's going on. And it's not just in the church. It's really in your home life.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's your home life that led him to there. Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah.
And if he a PK kid, he already knew how to pimp.
Oh, yeah.
Because pimps raise up pimps. Entitlement mentality.
Oh, yeah.
And it's a lot of that in the Black church. I'm entitled. And so when I feel like I'm entitled, I don't use people. I misuse people. So I apologize on behalf of every leader who don't know how to really not just feed the sheep, because even as Jesus told Peter, he said, tend to them. Tend to them means supervise them. Make sure that they are getting what they need so they can go out and prosper. It's just like raising my kids. I want to make sure that they're emotionally sound and they're emotionally and mentally know how to think. So when they grow and go out in life, they ain't coming back, but I'm always be mama. Does that make sense?
Right.
So your gift will make room for you, and you got so much that you got to do. Are you with me?
Oh, yeah.
What's your next? Where do you see yourself? Because you ain't wilding in the hurt. You're healing from the hurt. I know you ain't. You're healing from the hurt. So when you're healing from the hurt, you got to see your next. And I don't want you to be timid about speaking your next. Speak it out. Speak where you see yourself based upon your gift.
I got a lot of gifts.
I know. That's your problem right there.
But based upon my gift, I just see myself growing more here. Because over everything that I do, I love serving. I love hearing people. I love talking to people. I love praying with people. I just love people.
You love praying with people?
I do. I do love praying with people. You gotta catch me on a good prayer day. but I do. And I just see myself growing more in my worship, getting closer to God so that I can worship even the more. Like even the more. And just continuing to heal. Continuing to be the best woman, the woman that I am.
Well, first of all, I asked you that because some of that I knew. I ain't know about the love praying with folks, because when I ask you to pray, you kind of clam up, but I'm going to pull on you.
I said a good prayer day.
I'm going to pull on you.
I said a good prayer day.
Because I believe that hurt, seriously, is not healed by just talking about it, but through activation.
Oh, yeah.
You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be activated. And so you're already activated even when as a worshiper. Does that make sense? But activating you in places that's going to cause you to grow, not just on a good prayer day, but on any day. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what I do. You know what I'm saying? And also not only activating, but investing in your gift. You know what I'm saying? I see you as one of the next Tamala Mans.
All right.
Come on now.
Take me there.
Take me to the king. Take me to the king. You know what I'm saying?
I ain't got nothing to bring, but take me.
No, I'm serious, because it's your gift. And gifts are supposed to be tapped into, but yet seen beyond the wall, beyond the church. It don't mean it can't be there. It can't be used there. It can't be invested in there. But what's the beyond for your life? Does that make sense? Because out there, if you think about it, it's a lot of room.
Oh, yeah.
In a small building, it ain't too much room. And so I tell people it's only one pulpit and only a few mics.
Mm-hmm.
But in the pew, you got all these gifts.
Yeah.
How many pulpits? Then you ain't got to start another building and start another building and start another building, only for church hurt to be perpetuated. Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah.
With the gift is what's going to cause you to not only be healed, but cause you to be activated in it. So greater healing, because your hurt is about somebody else.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Your hurt was because somebody else needs you. And not write and not just sing about it, but start writing. Start writing songs. I'm telling you right now. Start writing. Don't be looking at me like I'm crazy. You know what I'm saying? Start writing. Go deeper and start. And I'm speaking to you all too. Start writing. I don't care if it's a book. I don't care if it's a song. I don't care if it's a diary right now. Start writing about what you've been through and how it has caused you to transform.
That's 20 books.
You see what I'm saying? Because we could talk about it. I'm not here to just talk about it to be talking about it. I'm here to break the chains. I'm here to break up your mindset and for your emotions to be healed. So now that you with me, now somebody else out there, I don't know where you are watching. If you're in Dunamis Woman, then I'm coming after you. But at the end of the day, you right here with me all day, every day, doggone near. Does that make sense? And I'm going to say, okay, what's the song? Because there's a melody in your heart. The word of God talks about sing the melody. He ain't say the words. What's the melody? Yeah, come on now.
We got to find the melody.
You got to find the melody. And when the melody is where your worship will go even more. Does that make sense? There's a lot of things that has taken place with all of us, you all. All of us. When I say all of us, I mean all of us. Nobody has gotten away, whether you went into a church building or you did not. Because why? I am the church. You are the church. The building is the place of gathering. Just like a house you go in. You go out and you come back. You go out and you come back. But where you are is supposed to be your place of rest. I can rest assured that the person like me is right here and another person like me is right there. And the pain is right here over here because we all in the same house. Does that make sense? I want to put a demand on you. What's in your house? Not just your physical house. What's in your spiritual house? Because somebody there is just like you. And we're not here to inflict more pain. We're here to bring more healing. Hurt people hurt people. And healed people heal people. It saddens me and it grieves me that you could be sitting right next to another woman. And if she look at you with an attitude, please know that she's hurting like you. Don't render hurt for hurt. But say, baby, I feel you. I might not know your pain. I might not know what you've been through, but I know it hurts. And when we do that with one another, woman to woman, there is no devil in hell that can stay there. Because woman got the power, woman got the strength, woman got the force, and woman got the violence. The kingdom of heaven have suffered violence, and the violent take it by force. No more division, no more hurting. I'm going to talk about these men later on. Does that make sense? I'm going to get you afterwards. Because if I'm going to get something, I'm going to get it. Does that make sense? But at the end of the day, it's time for us to heal so his miraculous power can flourish through us, who is the church. I'm Pastor D. I thank you all for watching. I'll be back with you all on next week for another episode of the Healing for My Soul podcast. And don't forget, like and comment and subscribe and tell someone that this Healing for My Soul podcast this season is talking about healing the Black church. And I am the church. Have a good one.